Hey everybody, it's Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. This video is titled SHTF is Now. But first off, I want to address people talking about me driving and filming. And, oh, you're so irresponsible, you should be safer, stuff like that. Okay, so here's my take on it. If I'm driving with my wife sitting in that seat, and I suppose you guys probably do the same things, do you ever have a conversation with anybody in the vehicle? That's what I'm doing. I'm just having a conversation with you guys. It's just like having a conversation with anybody else in the vehicle. I seriously doubt anybody else watching this video sits there dead silence with every single ounce of concentration watching the road and driving. You can still drive and talk and be safe, okay? Every once in a while I look up the camera. Yes, it's right above my rearview mirror. So I'm actually looking at my rearview mirror also. I don't even look over at my wife like I would normally. So it's safer, actually. So please, I know people are still going to make comments. Please stop making comments about it not being safe. I'm a safe driver. I'm filming in such a way that it's totally safe. Like I said, it's right in my rearview mirror. I don't distracted drive, okay? So enough on that. SHTF is now. Yeah, if you don't realize that, then yeah, you're behind the power curve. With the virus thing going on, you know, all the lockdowns we've had, all the shutdowns, all the shelter in places, all the mask wearing, all that stuff. That in of itself is an SHTF event. Because SHTF is just stuff hitting the fan. Basically stuff out of the ordinary that is happening to us in our lives that affects us and affects the way we live our lives, affects the way we have access to things like food, like supplies, like medical, like lots of different things. Interaction, normal everyday life. It is a disruption in everyday life. Whether it is a plandemic, a pandemic, or it's just the common flu. Whatever. However you feel, that's fine. You're fully justified to feel however you want about it. But the fact is, there have been effects on our lives due to it. Whether they're only in place by the government or self-implaced or whatever it may be. It is an impact on our lives. So this is an SHTF event. And that's just one part of it. With all the chaos in the cities, the Black Lives Matter protests / riots and chaos, the Antifa riots and chaos and disruptions and criminality and lack of morals, the moral degradation of our nation. Pile on top of that, shortages, because everybody's out buying stuff, because of all this stuff going on. So what kind of shortages do we have? We have, you've seen at the grocery store, food shortages, hand sanitizer shortages, toilet paper shortages, anything having to do with cleaning or sanitation shortages, personal hygiene shortages, all different kinds of things. And then on top of that, the meat shortages that we've seen. Pile on top of that, the effects of the flooding in the Midwest and other crop failures and shortages around the world. There may be some effects with that also. We are living in SHTF. We are not living in WROL, however, which is without rule of law, or Teotihuacan, the end of the world as we know it. Those I both reserve for in a situation like total utter collapse, total utter chaos everywhere, EMP, grid down, foreign invasion, financial collapse, whatever, civil war, you know, Boogaloo can throw in there, all these different things. I'm talking if there are no cops, there are no hospitals, there's nowhere for you to go, you have to rely on yourself, your group, your preps, and all that stuff. You have to be totally self-enclosed, self-sufficient. You have to take care of yourselves because you're the only ones that are going to be there. Maybe fellow, you know, or surrounding communities that also have their act together, or fellow other groups that may have their act together that you can fellowship with and build ties with and relationships with. That is why I always talk about groups. Groups. MAGs, mutual assistance groups, tribes, teams, crews, whatever you want to call it. Very, very important. Very important right now. Especially if this goes south. And what are we leading into? We're leading into November, elections. I think it's going to be total craziness during that time frame. I think it's going to be sick. I mean, I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm laughing just because I think it is going to be just absolutely crazy chaos. That's my big thing I'm looking at. What else is affecting us? There's a lot of things that are affecting us. Interactions with people, the ability to worship. That's a big one for a lot of people. Yeah, I get it. You don't have to go to church to be faithful, to read the scriptures, to pray, to fellowship with others. But even fellowshipping has been curtailed or impacted by this. Fellowshipping with your fellow people of faith and like-minded people, which has kind of hindered the formation of groups and a lot of things. So there's a lot of things going on right now that are being affected by these events. Now, can you imagine if, say, a natural disaster was thrown into this mix? Also, I mean, with 2020, it wouldn't surprise me what happens right now. I mean, next thing you know, it's going to be zombie Sasquatch running around. We're going to have attack of the zombie Sasquatches coming out of the woodwork. Seriously, nothing would surprise me in 2020. I have a feeling this year, maybe the next couple years, maybe a long time, is going to go down in the history books as a very pivotal time in the history of the United States of America. And it may change the United States of America as we know it for time and eternity. I don't know. But there's a lot going on. So we're in SHTF. Please acknowledge that. And bring, like I always say, prep a little every day. Be preparing. Because it's only going to get, potentially can get worse. A lot worse come November. We have a finite amount of time to be prepared. To get more prepared. More food, more water. Oh, another shortage I forgot to mention. Ammunition and firearms. Firearm sales are through the roof. Lines at gun counters. Waiting periods extended due to the fact of, the background checks taking longer because of the increased demand. Along with that, the increased demand on magazines, ammunition. It's a lot harder to find ammunition now. And especially at good prices. I mean, yeah, there's those, scalpers on the internet that take advantage of situations like this. I get capitalism, yes, 100% supporter of capitalism. And for making a little extra because, hey, supply and demand. But, come on, there's a time and a place. I mean, there's a point when you're just ripping people off. When you're just being a criminal. And that's just not cool. I get raising prices, for sure. Capitalism, booyah. But come on, don't rip off your fellow Americans. Please, if you're one of those people. Let me see. We gotta be vigilant right now. I mean, we gotta have our heads on a swivel. We gotta be gathering intel, watching different sources of news. Not the mainstream media, please. Although, they're a source of the agenda of the left, so we keep our eyes on the pulse of the left's agenda. But we need to be preparing. We need to be getting ready. If you can find ammo, buy it. If you can find magazines, buy it. If you have a gun, great. If you need a gun, find it. Find a way. There is a way. You can still get AR-15s. There are still ways to get it. Or you can get the parts to build it yourself. Which I highly recommend, because then you will attain a higher level of knowledge of that weapon system via building it and knowing how all the parts fit together, how they work together, how they come apart, how they go together, all that stuff like that. Vital skills, definitely. Then go to the range, zero it, shoot it, train with it, please. Hopefully within a group, do some dynamic training, some tactical training, some, not just fixed firing. Under barriers, over barriers, side barriers, CQB stuff, longer ranges, unknown distances, known distances, building dope, which is for your rifles, which is data on previous engagements. That is what the weather's like outside, what the wind is like, what you had to dial to hit properly, affected by temperature, humidity, wind, range, inclination or declination. Inclination is shooting up, declination shooting down, extreme long range, Coriolis effect. What is Coriolis effect? Look at it. It's the effect of the earth spinning on a bullet fired at extremely long ranges. It does affect a bullet, definitely. Most people, do they care? No. Do preppers really care? Probably not. But hey, knowledge is power. So yes, be using your stuff, be training with your stuff, be ready for it to get even worse. Because with all this stuff that's currently here, you know, if we go back into lockdowns, or, you know, if they start schools back up, or if they don't start schools back up, whatever goes on. And I'm not saying there's justification behind it, but if it happens, it happens. And then can you imagine throw in another natural disaster, or even another man-made disaster? Maybe some group of people that are disgruntled with things get even more bold, and they start doing things that affect us even more greatly, that actually affect us. You know, our power grid is not bulletproof. Just saying. Our water supplies, some of them are not as well protected. There's a lot of different things that people can do to cause havoc. So be ready, be vigilant. Work on groups, please. Train, communicate, all those kind of things. We're in SHTF. Please take it seriously. Do all you can as soon as you can. Make it a priority. Don't procrastinate. Prep a little every day. I love you guys. And prep at a peace of mind, not out of fear. Just like investing for your future. That's all prepping is investing for your future, for your life. The ability to live. I love you guys, and blessings to you and yours.